Job 23363. Project is called Point on Yarrow Bay condos. We're looking at asphalt on a walking path in their community. This is here in Kirkland. Needs to be bid ASAP for Dave at Pacific Property Management. He gave me a map of the walking path, and you can see it's in black. It goes all the way around the neighborhood. This is an entrance to the neighborhood. This is also an entrance to the smaller part of the neighborhood. And then in the woods, you've got these trails. I'm going to walk this trail so that we can see how wide it is and what our capabilities are as far as what kind of equipment we could use to repair these patches. There's 14 patches. Each one has an arrow next to it. I started with this one as number 1 in the very back of the property and went clockwise. Okay. I have 14 patches here right now. As I go through those 14 patches, I'm going to point out a couple areas where I saw they should have included some more asphalt repairs, because some of these areas they missed are worse than the ones they called out. So we're going to do that, but our base bid's going to be on these first 14 patches. Then we're going to call this the pedestrian path is what we'll call it for all these repairs, 1 through 14. Then I'll have these bid options for these other patches, and I'll name those 15 through whatever, however many I find. I'll locate them on the map. Then we need another item that we'll label in the asphalt section, and it's going to be called parking lot. So these will be the parking lot repairs. There's tree root damage in the parking lot that I noticed needs to be done. And then at the same time, they have no parking stall lines here. So I'm going to add some parking stall lines here at the end. So right now I'm in that parking lot. You can see some pretty good tree root damage back there in the corner. And then as you make your way out, you can see there's some asphalt that's pretty rough here in the center that we can repair. It's not horrible, but it's you can tell it's starting to wear a little bit. You can see the aggregate showing there. And then right here by the mailbox kiosk, you've got asphalt damage here too. So I'll probably end up giving a price for this repair near the mailbox, and then that one back there. This one in the middle, I'll put it in there too. All right, so we're gonna make our way down the trail here, which is on 101st Way Northeast. You can see 101st Way Northeast. And we're going to make our way all the way to the back at patch number 1. Project managers. This parking lot's perfect for staging. So we would use that for our staging of trailers and whatnot, just like they did that genie lift. Okay? And by the way, here's another one as you come into the entrance where there's what looks like possibly some tree root damage underneath. So I want to capture that too. Okay, take that back. I think now that I see it on the other side of the bridge, I'm probably going to leave that alone for right now, because it looks like that's asphalt on top of the bridge. So as I'm walking to the first patch, we're going to take the trail that goes in here from the walkway where it says 6 foot. Right there to the right, we're at 3710. We're going to walk that trail where it turns into a Y. And that's right here. So as you can see, the entrance to these trails, it's not big enough to have our paver run through there. Part of that reason is because you're going to be damaging some of the backyards, I think, to some of these repairs. So this might end up being a lot of handwork that we end up doing. But right now, as we're walking over this trail, this is a part of one of the patches. And you can see it's not a very wide trail. It's 4 feet wide. Okay. So as I'm walking back to that first patch, you can see, we would be damaging some of the yard back here. And when we go to do these repairs, I know that we're going to end up messing up a little bit of the grass anyways. So we'll need to put a price in to restore some of these spots. I was talking to Zemke and said, hey, what if what if we were able to use the Pathmaster? And he thought that the Pathmaster could go to 4 feet, or minimum 4 feet, but he said it needed at least 8 feet wide of clearance to, get the wings and all that through, from the hopper on something like, on something like this. It could be very tough. So I really don't see us using a Pathmaster. I see us using probably the Bobcat to drive back here and as much as possible try to stay on the trail. But I think there's going to be a little bit of restoration needed on here. So I'll clarify that too with the customer. There's different access points onto the trail, so it's not like we have to drive the Bobcat a long ways on a trail. We can get access points at different locations. So for instance, this area that we're coming up to, where you got this parking lot here, or this little parking stall, you've got a little bit of clearance here. You've got the curbing that we could potentially drive up and over. This is only about 5 feet wide, so it's not wide enough for the Bobcat to come through, but we could potentially come up and over the extruded curb here. So I might have to throw a little bit of, curb repair on this. But this little entrance right here would be right where it says, I think I'm in between. Let me see, where am I at exactly? I think I'm in between building D or G and E right there, where that trail is right there. I think I'm right there. So that's one of the locations. Or I might be all the way up here on 38th Court. Yeah, I am. I'm up on 38th Court. So up here at the top is one of the entrances into the trail. That would get us to the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 patches right from this area. Okay, so let's keep walking. So as you see, that 6-foot repair, that's right there, the 6-foot repair on the bend. Okay, so I'm starting to make that bend there. 6 foot, and then you got 4 foot, which is right next to it. You got a tree here that's causing it. Pretty narrow. Actually, this is probably the 6-foot area near the bench. That's the 4 foot, and then right next to that is like a 3 foot. But we're gonna keep walking and get here to the very back where patch number 1 is. So I was right. As you go on this trail, a lot of this is their backyard. I don't know if they'd consider it their backyard or not. I think it's part of the trail. Their property line is basically probably their porch, because I don't see anything set out that determines who's got what yard space. But no matter what, we're going to be driving part of the tracks of the Bobcat on this pathway. Okay, so I just walked all the way around the back of the property, and I'm over by house 10026, which is right here off of 38th Court. And where that 3 foot mark is right there, that's where I am right now. So right here at the end, it says guest parking. This is another spot we could use for staging. We've got a nice long 80-foot stretch here that we could have a truck and trailer parked right here. We could also have our dump truck. You got a tree that's right here with some branches, so we'd have to be careful. So maybe we'd have to pull out here a little bit farther when unloading mix into either mechanical wheelbarrow or Bobcat. All right, so I'm just giving you an idea of where we could get mix from, because we'll have to load up out here on the road or in the drive aisle. Okay, so we're gonna go in, and this is patch number 14 right here, so I might as well show you patch number 14. It's 3 feet, and it's just that piece right there. You can see true it damage going through. It'd be a 4x3. That'd be patch 14. Then you start to make your way around the back of the property, which is what I'm doing. I'm going to that 12-foot patch. It's pretty narrow. the Bobcat would fit, except for when you get into this area right here. It's only about 5 feet wide, and you got brush all along the side here. But here's the patch, okay? You've got this patch right here. It's 12 foot. It's a 12 foot by 4 foot. It would start right here and go right around the corner, 12 feet. That right there is roughly about 100 feet from the roadway there. You got rock wall here, and then you've got tree root damage going on. There's a seam right here, so we'd probably stop at the seam and take out the asphalt going in that direction. We want to make sure that we start at the last tree root there that's damaged, and then make our way this way. Looks like it might be a little bit more than 12 feet, but yeah, this is how wide it is back here. Okay. We'll move on around the corner to the 6 foot area, which we talked about earlier. So now, in order to get over to this other area, it probably wouldn't make any sense for us to travel with any machinery back through this area because it's a long stretch. So we might as well go over where the other side is on 38th Court, enter from there, and get on the trail in order to fix these other repairs. Okay, so if I look through there in the middle, you can see the roadway where it teed on 38th Court. I'm making my way around the corner to get to that 6 foot section. Okay, here we are. We're at patch number 2. I showed you patch 14, I showed you patch number 1, and I'm showing you patch number 2, which is 6 feet. Right here at the tree, there's a cedar tree. Okay. We need to rip out 6x4 right from here and go this direction. Okay, it looks like it's going to be a little bit farther because that's a little bit farther than 6 feet, but we should probably get that little bit of tree root damage there and get this removed right next to the post here. It looks like a lot of this asphalt is 2 inches. Sorry, I forgot to bring my tape out here, but I know that that's not more than 3. So we'll go with the 3-inch average on that. We make our way around the corner. Then we've got another one here. This is a 4x3. So we need to remove right there, 4x3. Get rid of that tree root and the little sinkhole there. And then a little bit farther, you get around the corner and you've got a 3 foot thing. So this is where I was saying earlier, on the other side of the court. I was on the opposite side that way. But if we come over to this side, we can get patches 1 through 4. Patches 1 through 4 from this area. We might need to throw some 2x4s down on both sides of this in order to climb over that curbing, possibly. All right. We might even have to throw in a little money to do a curb repair. I don't know how careful we can be going up and over this curbing, but there's a chance we might have to fix that. At least throw a little bit of fluff in there to repair the curb, a little bit of restoration. Okay, so here's let's see, is this the 3x3? Yeah. So this is the 3x3 right here, right at the entrance here, 3x3. Then we go on to patch number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Patch number 5 is a 16-footer. That's this whole area right here. This whole area is damaged right in here. So I'll have it marked if we win the job. I'll have this thing marked out so we know what we're taking out. Okay. This area is pretty damaged too. So it said that. Let me back up here for a second. Okay, so that patch I said over there, that was 3 foot. That's not the case. It's going to be right here. We're going to do the 3x4 right here, just south of that little entrance. Okay, so that's the 3 foot piece. Now let's look at the 16-foot piece. That's definitely going to be in here, and it's going to be this whole section. Starting from down there, I'll have 16 feet cut in this direction. These are the major trip hazards right here. So 16 feet. If we get this job, I'd like to talk to the customer about extending some of these patches just a little bit, because I don't think he made them long enough. Okay. So right here, if you go down the trail past that 16-foot mark, you see that black trail going through. That's where I'm at right now. So that's one way to get in here, access point, in order to get to that patch, but I think we're still going to use that area back there. It'd be the best thing to do because we'd be damaging the least amount of grass. So by not going on this and going on that other area, we're damaging less grass in the back. Okay, so I'm continuing on down to the next patch, which is a 4-foot patch at the Y. Okay, so now I'm out where the 4-foot patch is here. Okay, the 4-footer, and there's a couple different areas that this could be. There's really no defined location on where the 4-foot by 4-foot is, because you've got a little bit of tree root damage back here. Doesn't look as critical, but you do have one that's right there. This doesn't look like it's being called out, so I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be see here. Okay, I know which one the 4-foot piece is. It's going to be right here where it Y's. That'll be the 4x4 that you see right there. Okay, now on the back side of this, where there's this asphalt damage, trip hazard type stuff, I'm going to call this patch number 15, because this is above and beyond. So we're going to call this patch number 15, and we're going to make this a 10x4. Okay, a 10x4 right there. That would be at the back of this Y. Actually, where the 4 is actually pointing, that's where I'm going to do the 10-foot. The 4-foot by 4-foot is right there. Let me make sure there's nothing else really over on this side of the trail. It looks like they don't use it, so let's forget about that. Okay, on this map, the 25-foot section, it's at the trailhead here where the sign is, where the pedestrian sign is. Starting from there and coming in 25 feet, we'll rip that out into a 25-foot by 4-foot patch. This is right next to this house here, so we're going to have to make sure that there's no cars parked here. We go to do the repairs. Okay, so now I'm crossing the street where it says 25 feet, and we're going to go over to that 6-foot piece. Okay, entrance is to my left. Come across. And as you come in, roughly 40 feet, you got this 6-foot by 4-foot patch right here. 6x4. All right, and then we're going to make our way around the corner, and we're going to look at a 4-foot patch and a 10-foot. Again, we want to try to do as less damage as possible on this grass, but this is the best way to get to that 6-foot patch, the 4-foot patch, and the 10-foot patch, I believe, but we'll double check this here in a second. But as we come around the corner, again, there's multiple areas that I see here, and it doesn't look like they're calling this out, so it must be up here farther on the trail. Okay, as I just walked that path to look for the 4-foot, I went around the corner and went across a bridge, because that's a creek that runs in that thick black line. The 10-foot is obvious. It's right out here, out on this road of the second property that I was talking to you about, the smaller property. So this is starting from the road out here. You come in 10 feet and get all this fixed, 10x4. And now that I've walked most of this trail, I think a mechanical wheelbarrow is probably going to be the ideal thing to use on this job. The MT85 would probably be another good thing to use because it's pretty narrow and would go great down these trails and would cause very little damage, I think, and a lot less restoration by using it. So if we use the MT85 mechanical wheelbarrow and then the Bobcat to load it would probably be probably the most effective way as far as not damaging the grass. Something we'll talk about on the final bid here. But that's the 10-foot piece right there from the other property. And I'm going to walk back over this bridge and show you that 4-foot patch. See, there's a creek down here. Okay, so the 4-foot patch, as I come down the hill, it must be down here at the bottom. Again, I'm trying to find the worst spot. And it looks like maybe this is going to be the worst location is right here. Sure, damage, plus you've got some asphalt failing. There's where it's missing. So we'll try to get this 4-foot by 3-foot. This is right off the entrance at the Y where you come in. There's the 4-foot piece. There's the little Y in the trail. Okay, so there's the 4-foot piece. All right, we're gonna make our way over to this other property now, because I've already shown you the 4-foot patch and the 10-foot patch on the other side of the bridge. And then we're gonna make our way over to the 8-foot, 30-foot, 21-foot, and then we'll be back to the beginning of where we started. Okay, so here's the other entrance. That's on the 100th lane northeast. As you come in, and there's that trailhead. That's where I'm standing, is at the trailhead to the right. So you come in the second entrance. And by the way, that you can see the genie lift through the trees. That's where I'm parked in that main parking lot over there. But if we come over here, it's a short little trip on the road out there. If we had to, run equipment over here like the MT85, wouldn't be a big deal. But I believe there's a trail entrance down here that we can access so that we can get to this other patch, which is 8 feet. So right now I've come into the entrance and I'm on Northeast 37th Court. And I'm getting all the way over here to the end where you kind of see what might be a little trailhead there. And there is. So, trailhead right here, pretty narrow, 5 or 6 feet max, so probably not good for the Bobcat. But we do have some repairs right here. Again, we're going to try to figure out what's the most critical here, but I can tell you right now, this area doesn't look good, and it's right at the trailhead. So this 8-foot by 4-foot, I'm going to say is right here. 8-foot by 4-foot. We'll make our way down. The slopes to the left a little bit. Gosh, this is rough. So this is a potential where it could be the 8-foot, or this might be part of the 30-foot. I gotta see here. Now, as I go back behind here, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look like much of this needs to be replaced. This area definitely looks like it needs to be replaced. And this might be the 21-foot piece here. Okay. So, I'm going to have to backtrack a little bit, because I think I missed where the 30-foot one is and where the 21-foot is. I think I'm standing where the 21-foot piece is at. So here's another bridge. So I'm going to turn around. From this point in here, I'll have it sprayed in if we get the job. But we're going to have 21 feet by 4 to remove here. There's tree roots sticking out of the ground here. All this needs to come out. We'll work around the bench. So we'll cut this way to the back side of that. We'll get 21 feet of asphalt repairs here. And then as we go back here, the 30-foot section is going to be past this, I believe. I see little white marks that are on some of these cracks, but I'm just not sure if that's the 30 feet they're talking about. I do see that this area in here is pretty bad though. And that was where I just walked in. I just walked in on the trailhead there. So we've got the 8-foot section that is up here. And again, if we get this job, I want to walk it with the contractor to make sure we've got the exact locations, because we're going to need to get confirmation on it. But that'd be an 8x4 up there. And then starting right here, about 10 feet in, 12 feet in, we'll rip all this out, all the way down, 30 feet. 30 feet by 4 on that, okay? And then it goes all the way back up to that 3-foot piece that I showed you earlier. Okay, so now that I've showed you the different access points, I'm thinking it's gonna be really tough to get a Bobcat back in here. I think the MT85, I think a mechanical wheelbarrow, and then maybe the Bobcat out here to load the wheelbarrows would be the best way to do this job. I know they want to get it done. It needs to get done, and it's something that we can do, definitely. I don't think we'd be disturbed much. We could park along the side here over in this smaller development, but we could also just go down the road over here as well. So we can unload right here in this second property, which is where I'm at there. We can unload here if we want, and then pull our equipment back over to that main parking lot where I'm parked. Okay, so now I've made my way back towards the main entrance that I came in from the beginning, where the 6-foot patch is. I'm walking down this trail where it says Building D. Okay, because I got to show you patch number 16. All right, so I showed you that 6-foot patch that was over there. But out here towards the entrance, I don't know why they didn't get this one, but I want to call this patch number 16. And I'd like to have patch number 15, 16, and the parking lot area. Actually, yeah, I'd like to have patch number 15 and 16 included. How would I include that in there? I know, we'll put patch number 15 and 16 in the parking lot area. So we'll call it parking lot and extra repairs, or pathway repairs, something like that. Okay, so here we are. We're out towards the entrance, and we've got this patch right here. And this is a 6x4. 6x4 right out here near the bridge as you come into the entrance. Okay, so now I'm making my way back over to the parking lot. I'm gonna show you the repairs over there. Okay, so I'm back at the main entrance. Here's the main parking lot. We need to remove and replace the asphalt in this section. You can see there's a patch that was already done here, and I think probably best thing to do would be come out all the way to the existing patch instead of cutting within a patch. And we'll get this out here and all the way down just past the mailbox kiosk. Okay, so the whole area is a 44 by 14. 44 by 14. So there's some tree root damage right there that's lifting up that curb. We'll get just past it, come out 14 feet, and go 40, would I say 42 or 44 feet? I can't remember what I just said there. Let's make it 44 feet. 14 by 44 feet. Okay, so that patch, so 42 by 14. This repair right here in the center, let's see here. They might do it, so let's put it in there, okay? So I'm gonna get all the way out here so we can make sure we crown this. I know that we probably need to do as much as we can on this side and this side of the flow line there, but I probably won't make it 9 feet. So it'd probably be a job for, I would guess, maybe the Pathmaster, because there's really no other spots to use it for except for out here. So I'm just gonna say even if we don't use the Pathmaster, we've got like 4 feet on this side, 4 feet on that side. So let's just call this an 8 foot. Okay, 4 foot and 4 foot. So 8 foot by, it'd be an 8 foot by 50 foot repair here. I have a feeling that they're not going to want to get this one repaired, but it is pretty beat up. It's a lot of rock is washed away in that area, so I'll try to sell them on that. And then there's this repair right here. Looks like it's been done once before. Okay, been done once before, but we're gonna go all the way across. Okay, so let's do 11 foot by 12 foot, 11 by 12 right here in this location. That curb repair, I'm thinking we'll probably leave it alone and just set the curving right back where it was at for now. Okay, so 11 by 12 on that, the 14 by 44 up on that parking lot. Then I told you about 15 and 16 over in the kind of front entrance area. I'd like to include those 2 patches in the parking lot area. So parking lot and pathway additions is what we could call it. All right, any other questions, let me know. But yeah, after walking it, I don't think using the Bobcat on the trail would be a good idea. I think just maybe using the MT85 and then using mechanical wheelbarrows would be the way to go. Keeps the restoration down. All right, thanks.